only on Bloomberg Quint.
Hello and welcome. This is the Market Wrap. I am Agam Akil. Benchmark indices extend gains, advance for the third straight day, and good momentum building in with the Nifty, well, inching above the mark of 10,700 at one point in time, not too far away. We did see about an 83-point up move out there, largely aided by the OMCs, HPCL, BPCL, along with IOC, and of course some strength coming in on the back of pharma names such as Sun Pharma as well as Lupin. We have some weakness in IT companies, but this is after we've had a very strong week for some of these IT companies. So Infosys, HCL Technologies, and Tech Mahindra, of course, well, some weakness and some profit taking after we saw the earnings come through. And it wasn't any different when it comes to the broader markets too. On the Nifty 500, we had about, well, nearly 4 gainers for 1 loser. Just as stands out, up 20.5%. Jindal Polyfilms also 12%. You have National Fertilizers and Canfin Homes not too far behind, up well over 11% in trade. Manpasand Beverages, of course, reacts to the fact that its auditors have, well, resigned. And it's locked in a lower circuit of 20%. PC Jeweler reacting to earnings, and it's the same for Avanti Feeds. VR Logistics also coming up with a mixed quarter, and because of that, we're seeing a decline of around 6%. Let's bring in our markets editor to give us an idea about what's really going on in the markets. Neeraj, the advanced decline ratio looking up.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of people got caught on the wrong foot because everybody was looking at Thursday's trade and thinking that the market is not improving, so this may not last. But I think the crude movement and the resultant impact that it's had on sentiment, on the rupee, etc., all leading to the last 2 or 3 sessions looking very, very robust. So yeah, you're absolutely right. The mid cap and the small cap end of the market has also performed, and it's probably necessary because they've corrected quite a bit in the last few days. So some bit of course correction was necessary. Whether this can last remains to be seen. Talk to any fundamental expert right now, and they say that it's very difficult to sustain fundamentally these valuation levels and the current composition of the Nifty. But let's wait and watch. Today, the heartening thing, though, Agam, which I thought was that while the Nifty Bank was up about 1% and 1.25%, if you look at the top contributors, there was only HDFC Bank, which was at the topmost contribution on the Nifty gainers. The rest was split between an ITC, between a Sun Pharma and some others. OMCs came into play. Right. So it showed that there was buying all across and not just concentrated on select heavyweight Nifty Bank names, which was actually very heartening. And had it not been for IT, could have been a blockbuster day. You would have better sense on what will happen with IT, so I'll leave that to you. But yeah, IT, a bit of a pullback really, and again on warranted lines. I'd be very, very interested in seeing what happens on the positions in the run-up to the expiry as well. The last few days, the Nifty Bank has done extremely well. Could there be a bit of a pullback there ahead of the expiry because of profit booking? That probably remains the key question. But by and large, the last 3 days, you don't have too much to complain. The last 2 days, you don't have anything to complain if you're a mid-cap and a small-cap investor.
Well, Neeraj, actually, that is one of the relatively more important questions as we move into expiry, whether or not we do see that bout of profit-taking. Well, time will tell. But thanks for joining us and giving us that perspective.
Thanks so much.
So that's as far as, your fundamentals go. But let's get an idea about what we can expect when it comes to the benchmark indices. Well, we have Hemant Kapadia joining us to give us an idea about what we can expect from the Nifty and perhaps the Nifty Bank. Hemant, the Nifty is currently at around 10,688. How are you viewing trade right now?
It seems fine, Agam, but I think the run-up has been just a bit sharp. If you see the it's expiry week, I understand there's going to be slightly random moments, but in the last half an hour, Agam, the VIX went up from sub 13 to 13.15. Right. So once again, it's expiry week, but this is slightly disconcerting because the way the Nifty is moved, normally it moves contra the VIX. I have a feeling that we could be set for a small hiccup. I think we are heading for a further upside. The Bank Nifty is in fact stronger of the two. But the Bank Nifty also, I have a feeling there's going to be a 150-point hiccup either coming in tomorrow or day after. Post that, I think it's fine. And if you look at the options data, 67 lakh open interest puts at 10.5. I know that's far away. So 10.5 is safe for this series. And about 10.8, this series, I think, looks dicey.
And Hemant, the Nifty Bank at around 26,600. What levels should we watch out for?
I think from a spot point of view, 26,841 is crucial. I don't think that gets taken out today or tomorrow or day after. But if that gets taken out, it opens the way for 27. But like I said before that, I have one gut feeling that, and it's slightly overbought. I feel 26,400 once before this happens on the upside seems like a possibility. If it has to happen, it has to happen tomorrow or max day after.
Okay. Well, Hemant, thanks for joining us and giving us those views as far as, well, your technical levels are concerned. But let's talk about a bunch of, well, stocks specifically. In this case, let's start off with Manpasand Beverages, which has had a phenomenal run. However, over the last 1 or 2 odd months, there have been questions and concerns about the reported numbers. In the latest development, we had, well, its auditor Deloitte resign. We haven't had any reasons behind the resignation for now, but that is all that the press release mentions. In the past, we've had a lot of analysts talk about, questioning the market share of Manpasand Beverages, also several other factors with respect to the remuneration paid to its management. And of course, these are some of the reasons behind, some sentiment dampening. But today, given the fact that we have seen its auditors resign, it's the reason why we have seen that downtick of as much as 20% locked in a lower circuit. Will we see a recovery, or is there further weakness in store from Manpasand Beverages? We're going to have to, well, watch out for that one. That said, we have seen a little bit of a reversal in some of these OMCs, as well as, well, some of the aviation companies. So we have Soumya Sarkar joining us to give us an idea about what's really going on with the oil and gas sector. Soumya.
If you see the oil marketing companies, that is BPCL, HPCL and Indian Oil Corporation, they rose today because of the fall in the crude oil prices. Now in the last 3 days, the Brent crude has corrected by nearly 6%. Now, this coupled with the rising retail fuel prices, that is the petrol and diesel prices, the gross marketing margins of all the 3 oil marketing companies is expected to expand. Now the retail fuel prices have been increasing for the 15th consecutive day, so analysts are now expecting that the gross marketing margins for the oil marketing companies will now normalize with the falling crude oil prices and the rising retail fuel prices. Also, the aviation stocks were buzzing in trade today as crude prices corrected for the 3rd consecutive session. Now, the fuel prices eat up nearly 1/3 of the total revenue of an aviation company. Also, the 4th quarter results had seen a big impact of the rising crude oil prices on the financials of all the 3 aviation companies. So this correction in the crude oil prices and an expected future correction in the Brent crude prices triggered this rally in the aviation stocks today.
Soumya, thanks for joining us and giving us those details. I want to end by just suggesting we've had weakness in PC Jeweler as well. This is because of mixed earnings. The top line growth was a matter of concern. We saw a decline of around 2.4%. Margins did expand around 10.2%, but for now, a lot of concerns with respect to growth for the company, especially given that Titan company has done so well. Some comparisons will be drawn, but that's, for at least for today, is the reason behind the weakness in PC Jeweler. And with that, is a wrap on the markets. But don't go anywhere, lots more lined up, so stay tuned in a Bloomberg Tweet.